We spoke about the importance of, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone. We are about to begin another shiur of our series that we have on tips of beautiful marriage. Baruch Hashem, we are holding at shiur number 10. And we should be only successful in continuing and going ahead in everything that we want to do for Hashem in this world. And for Amen. Us, we are the beneficiaries, and we should get more and more in the benefit of our benefits that we get from our Torah, from keeping Torah, and from going by the ways of Torah. We spoke about in the previous shiur on the importance of the physical and the non-physical. What we mean is as follows. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the important mitzvah which is the mitzvah of marriage. Nothing to do with having children at all. Having children is a mitzvah in the Torah that is, by the way, a lot of people, everybody has a tafkid, has a purpose in life. And we've explained that at length in the previous shiurim. The importance of physical is something for us to know that something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. Hashem desires the physical, the intimate life, the life that we have between ourselves and our spouse, the physical attachment that we have to one another, which is the way to go. And the importance of it is so important that we gave a lot of examples that we saw that HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually wants the physical. Wants it. He has desire in it. As we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one of the three partners that we've mentioned before. Hashem is one of the three partners that are in the formation of a child. The father gives something, the mother gives something, and Ribono Shel Olam, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he gives the neshama. He's there. If he's not present at that moment, there's nothing doing. Nothing doing. All it will be is tipa surucha. Everything will spoil, and that's it. It will come out, and that's it. It's almost, I would say, a waste. The whole thing is a waste. But we know that it's not so, that the Ribono Shel Olam is involved in there. And he wants that physical bond. And he wants the hugging and the kissing and everything that pertains to that mitzvah, specifically all the preparations that we have for that mitzvah is very much wanted. And Hashem expects of us to do the best we can in it. And that is the actual mitzvah. You should know. This is something that we not mentioned before, but it's something which is important to point out. The goal is very important, but even more so, the preparations for the goal. And the preparations for the goal, as I would say it to, it's not supposed to be 2-3 seconds. It's not supposed to be 2-3 minutes. It's supposed to be 20 minutes is also little. 30 minutes is also very little. There has to be a lot there. There has to be a lot of what's involved. Because the more you put into it, the greater the outcome is going to be. The only one who will benefit is you. The only one who will benefit is your wife. Will benefit, your children will benefit. And most of all, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has the final goal. He wants it. It's something that he has created and he wants to be. As we know, the famous pasuk that it says over there, it says in the Torah, pasuk, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam and Chava, and the next thing he tells them what? It says, Vayitzav ala Adam, he commanded them to say what? That he says, Al ken ya'azov ish et aviv et imo, a man must depart. He must leave, abandon his parents, his father, his mother, Vedavak beishto, and he has to cling, he has to attach, he has to glue himself to his wife, to the extent that there should be one flesh. One flesh, and we spoke about this before, but something that it has to be pointed out, and it's part of the system that Hashem has created in this world. By the way, Baruch Hashem, there's children coming along, and there's many more smachot and many more happiness that we are actually the ones to benefit from this. And it's a beautiful mitzvah. The next thing we have is we know that the importance of the non-physical. We spoke about the non-physical is very, very important. Like we said, the Gemara, Rabbi Meir, in his great wisdom, he looked at the mitzvah of the separation that we have. We know that one time a month, right? Sometimes every 30 days, sometimes more, sometimes less. Depends on, how it comes and what happens exactly. What Hashem wants exactly. And there's a time in the month that we have to simply separate from one another, to the extent we almost turn our backs on each other. Say, do I know you? Right? She says, do we see each other? Be like, do we know each other at all? Right? She's a side, he's a side, almost. But it's not supposed to be. The non-physical is very important. And we're supposed to learn that we have to take advantage of those days and learn how to say, and we're going to speak about this in the next year, B'ezrat Hashem, but you have to know how to act in a way and not so much you have to learn to put on a show. And you have to show that you have the desire, but you have to do it without saying I love you. You have to know how to do it without anything physical, no passing anything, no touching, no hugging, no kissing, nothing at all. Many halachot. And this is something so important. Rabbi Meir says, why? Why is it that way? Rabbi Meir says, because if I was to give you something that you should be available to you 24/7, the next thing you'll say is, I'm bored. You know how we were like when we were little children. I remember we just came to America. How Lahavdil, I could give an example. When the Game Boy was out, right? Nintendo first, right? Nintendo, Super Mario, right? And shooting those ducks and whatnot. The first game that I played when I just got off the airplane was the first one to got my hands on it. And the next thing I knew was as soon as I got my hands on it, I knew that there was a shadow above my head. And I looked and I said, what's the shadow? I turned back and I see it's my brothers that said, give it to me. That was the end of it. And we were playing on this thing nonstop till it came to a point of saying, you know what? Haram, how much can I play already? I'm bored. Can't take it anymore. Can we get something better? And then the Game Boy came along, right? And after Game Boy, they came out with, I don't know, PlayStation, right? And then they had the Sega Genesis, and they had next thing is they had many other games. And I've seen guys sitting there, and then the computers came out, right? Games available, and I've seen people sitting with addiction playing. But it came to a point, even the game that the first time it come out, how I saw one time, I saw this sick thing and I said to myself, Ribono Shel Olam, how could people cook so crazy? I saw somebody waiting online by a store. They knew that the game is about to come and he wanted to be the first one to get it by a game store. He put up a tent. It's so foolish and so stupid. They waited for a game. I said to him, hello, how much can you play? He says, till I drop dead. And it came out to be really in reality, it's not so. 10 days, 20 days later, something else comes out. It's not bored. Sell it. Let's go. Gotta flip the money. Gotta get the money out to get the next game. They sold everything today. And this is so true when it comes to physical. If you have that availability, right, to you, like we always said, the famous line that I heard from someone that said a girl came complaining after being, at the point of divorce, after 9 months of marriage. Imagine, they couldn't live without each other till the wedding. And then they couldn't live with each other after the wedding. And he came and he told her, listen, say, Koruchan cannot be served on the same every single day for 9 months. I want to have something else. I said, Ribono Shel Olam, be compared to a wife. She's like food. It's like your bread. You can't live without it. And the guy just blabbered it out. So we have to learn, take advantage of those the non-physical is very important too. Because the more you stay away, if you stay away, when it comes to, when you get it back, you'll say, I'm getting married again. Ribono Shel Olam provides for you a wedding that you could play every month. And you could say to Hashem, how beautiful it is. Beautiful it is. You know what it is to come back to a wife after she was away from you? You feel like, a lightning is going to strike someone, right? This is what it is. You get a lot of excitement. Chazal says, "Shelo yeh ragil vekatz ba." You should not be close to her so much, used to her, and then come to a point of saying, enough. Change of menu. Gotta have something else.
Change the game.
Next, okay, so this is the importance of saying that how important it is to have and the Ribono Shel Olam provides it for us. He gave us something called physical, which we have at Baruch Hashem. And it's something very, very beautiful and something very, very nice. Then we have something called the non-physical. The non-physical is also in the system. And Hashem says what? Stay away. Stay away. This is a time of month that we have to completely separate. And there's benefits. And we spoke about all the benefits of why it's important for somebody to keep Tarat Mishpacha. If it was the matter of the fact that Baruch Hashem, it's supposed to, one of the mitzvot that we keep, that's supposed to fix the sin of Adam HaRishon. We fix the sin of Adam HaRishon, right? And he dies because of the sin of Adam HaRishon. She caused it. If we fix that, days of Mashiach come closer. The next thing we said is not only will we bring the Mashiach closer to us, it says the Mashiach himself was from the story of Yechonia HaMelech and his wife. When they were in Bavel, Hashem gave them Hashem said no Mashiach at all, and when they started keeping the mitzvah of Tarat Mishpacha only, Hashem says yes Mashiach. We spoke about it in the previous shiur. And then we had many more benefits. The fact that what Torah says, if Chas v'Shalom, husband and wife, they don't keep Tarat Mishpacha properly. She doesn't do something the way she's supposed to. Something is missing. The whole thing is no good. Karet chas v'shalom. And from the negative that says that chas v'shalom gets to severe punishment that we spoke about in previous shiur, you see that if you keep it the right way, Hashem will give you a bracha. From the minus, you always see the plus. You see the positive that comes with it. And there's many more benefits we spoke about on this concept. Another one we have is benefits for the woman. What the benefit? We know that there's in statistics they show medically. If chas v'shalom, a husband and wife, they live together, the next thing you know is what? Their chances for ovarian cancer. Shem Yilachem, which is one of the deadliest cancers. You should know that. If they don't take care of it right away, all you have to do is Bukhari have a saying called Goru Kafan Tayor Kandarkor. All you have to do is prepare the burial, the tachdichim, the material to wrap it up, right? The body up, send it off. Next. Right? This is what chas v'shalom it could be, right? And you know that is statistically proven that all the frum women that keep it the right way, first of all, it's matter of being always clean. It's matter of being always on guard, making sure no problems come from that place, right? It's something very sensitive. So there's many benefits for the woman, many health-wise. Health-wise is very important. The next benefits we said is the benefit for the man. If a man knows how to live a life of restrictions, he'll know how to say no to himself. There's something called being on top of the situation, not the situation being on top of you. You have to know how to say sometimes no. Rabbi Miller used to say that a man who knows how to say no to a piece of cake, he'll know how to say no to Satan also when it comes to doing an Averah. He is a man. Who's the man? Who's in control? Are you in control of the situation or the situation is in control of you? Right? So this is the benefits that we have for the man, right? It's like living a life, right? We're driving a car that has good brakes. When you want to slow down, you want to stop, perfect. Imagine a guy who has no control whatsoever. It's like sitting in the car with no brakes at all, right? You'll accelerate, you'll fly. Nothing will stop you. Maybe a tree or a telephone pole will stop you for sure.
Get the ticket of the radar.
Right? And the ticket with the radar will not stop you either. You'll keep on flying. Maybe they'll give you 1,000 tickets on the way. Say, here, take another one for the road. Yeah? Another sandwich. Take it with you. Another benefit we speak about is the benefit of having good children. You should know. Chazal, Chachamim, they teach us. They gave us the world. They gave us the understanding of realizing how important these mitzvot are in order to keep them properly. And here's two stories for you. The story happened with one Chacham in the Gemara. I think it was Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi. I heard the story from someone. They say one time there was a woman, two women. One of them was craving for food on Yom Kippurim. We know that to eat on Yom Kippur is forbidden even for a pregnant woman, unless it's Shat Sakana, danger, a different story. Right? If you tell her, no, you cannot have, and you see that she's already, this is it, right? She's about to faint. So you give her a little, you give her something. But the fact that if she knows, it's a famous story, right? Rabbi Yehuda she told people, what? She's craving for food? Go whisper into her ear that it's Yom Kippur today. It's Yom Kippurim, the holy day of the year, may not eat. And the next thing, this lady, when she heard these words, what did she do? She said, put away the food, I'm not eating. Because what's pushing her to eat? Where are the cravings are coming from? The baby wants it. When you whisper into the ear, we should know babies, they see everything. They hear everything. They understand everything. From the pregnancy, inside the stomach. They understand everything. Sure?
Really?
Wow. Sure. Mother's eyes. They see through the mother's eyes. They hear through the mother's ears. Really? They see and feel everything and anything. They also taste food. You know, if you a lot of times you know this is a famous thing. I don't have to tell you. The lady calls doctor. I don't feel the baby moving. What should I do? Doctor says, 3 cups of orange juice. Lay down on your right side. You're good to go. Huh? He starts kicking away. Whoa. You see, right? The stomach is moving already. Everything is fine. Don't worry. Just you should know it's a normal thing. When the baby is born, I give you a tip for life. Baby is born. During the day he sleeps. During the night he yells. That's his schedule. Why? I'll explain to you. Because during the day when the mother walks, he's rocked. Tick, 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 tick. You rock him, you put him to sleep.
Really?
During the night, the mother is laying down her back. He's up the whole night. Sometimes the mother complains. She tells her husband, I didn't sleep the whole night.
Yeah.
It's normal. They say, why? The baby was kicking away. Didn't let me sleep. That's normal experience. Baruch Hashem, I lost count, but they're Baruch Hashem, they're there. And you listen to this. And when Rabbi Yehuda saw this woman, that when she heard the rabbis, people say, whisper into her ear, it's Yom Kippur. She said, take away the food. What are you talking about? I never ate on Yom Kippur. And Rabbi, when they told him about it, Rabbi said, oh, such a special woman, you should know. It's only because the childbearing, when the pregnancy took place, everything was legit. He says, Betelim, it's like the famous pasuk that they have by Yirmiyahu Hanavi, that it says over there. And Rebbe, the famous pasuk that Rebbe said about this woman, he said to her what was said about Eliyahu Hanavi, about Yirmiyahu Hanavi. Hashem said to Yirmiyahu, right? He told him, Yirmiyahu, you should know, you will be the prophet that's going to go and give reproof to Klal Israel, to make sure they improve. Right? The reproof was needed, Tochecha was needed to be given. And Eliyahu Hanavi says to her, Yirmiyahu says to him, me! And Hashem says to him, Betelem etzocha babeten idaticha. He says, before you were even formed in your mother's womb, I already knew you since then. Which means I had what to do with you. I wanted you to be formed. Which means the parents, they live with Kedusha and Tahara. Parents live in purity. Parents live in holiness. Parents live in respecting one another. There is kavod in that aspect. They honor one another. There's everything done properly. And Hashem says, I wanted you to be formed. Here, idaticha means I wanted to know you. And there was another story. Can you imagine what proper way of living can do? And listen to what was the outcome. She had a child like Yirmiyahu was born. Kadosh v'tahor. That's the highest level a person can achieve. It's a lifetime of working on Mesilat Yesharim, right till you get to Nevuah to the highest level. Work. And listen to what happened to the next story. The next story went on. There was another story that happened. There was another Chacham, I think his name was Rabbi Chanina. When they told him, ran to him, this lady, she's plotting. She has to eat something or else. They said, go whisper to her in her ear. And if she doesn't listen, then give her food. They went, they whispered to her, and she said, I want the food, and too bad. And she had a child. She had a child who, Hashem Yilachem, when they told Rabbi Chanina about this, you know what he said about this woman? He said, oh, the child that she has, Zoru Reshaim Mirachem. He says, Hashem says a pasuk, it says in the prophets, it says that the evildoers, the Reshaim, the wicked people, Zoru, they are strange to Hashem from the womb. Can you imagine? Hashem says, who's this? Who is this? Stranger. Complete stranger. Can you imagine? Hashem says, okay, I had no choice. You had to be formed. I'll give the soul, but you should know, a soul is a soul of a chasha. Which means there's no kedusha, no tahara, there's no purity in the living. And the outcome, you look today, I heard this from one of the people that were giving shiur. Well, she's a very special person, was giving the shiur, and he said, you look today, it was mentioned from the Chafetz Chaim and from the earlier generation of Naiman brings it down. He says, today you see Jewish children, they grow older, and they grow to be worse than terrorists. They are able to kill someone. They're able to rob. They're able to go and beat up someone. They're able to be arrogant. When did we ever have such a generation? Jewish people should go so low. Chafetz Chaim in the Rav Naiman, they said you should know it's only because they did not live properly. The Ramban, this is based on the Ramban, the Geret HaKdusha, he says this is what it's based on. If their life, intimate life, everything is good, this Kedusha, this Ta'ala, this Kavod, everything is good, you're going to have good children. Guaranteed. Guaranteed to have good children. And if you see a child that family that, I'm not saying to you now go around and start pointing fingers. That's not the point. The point is you should know. I'm not talking about being a hooligan. A child that's, shovavnik, he's shoch. He doesn't sit in one place. That's a lively child, a healthy child. The one who runs on tables, runs under the tables, who jumps over the tables. I've seen cheating. A child was running, and he was running away from somebody, and he jumped. And he was able to jump over a table, this table, with 6-foot table, without a problem. Jumped over, to the other side, and continued running. I've seen it. There is cheating, you should know. Shuch, Bukhara is called shuch. I don't know how to sit in one place. It's healthy. It's a very, very healthy child. You say, Baruch Hashem, you should always be healthy. Be careful, I don't want you to trip and fall. Right? This is what it is. We have the benefits of, we are the beneficiaries, the one who are getting all the benefits from this, keeping this mitzvah properly. Because one of the Bnei Tesha Midot, we know one of the 9 types of children that are born rebellious. And they're born Rishayim, born terrible children. Is only from what? From one of them is Bnei Nida, women of of improper living, not keeping the halachot, not keeping the laws properly.
Rabbi,
yes.
many Baal Teshuvas from where we come from.
They could do teshuvah. There's always a teshuvah, as gates of repentance are open for everyone. And if your parents do teshuvah, you'll be surprised the children will improve.
No.
I one time heard a very interesting thing. It says the most proper way of doing teshuvah for this. Listen to this. I know a Jewish man. I came over to him and I asked him a question. I said to him, Baruch Hashem, you became very frum. So I just want to understand what made you have, what in the world were you thinking? You have the oldest daughter, the 2 boys, and then you have 2 boys and you have a younger daughter. The gap, the space between the older 3 and the younger 3 is many years. And I asked him, no, what's that? He says, these got pregnant. Shelo b'kedusha, with no holiness at all. I was not religious. Me, my wife would not keep anything. And the last 3 is to fix what the first 3 came out to be. And Hashem granted it to him. He gave him the ability. Imagine he had a girl and 2 boys. And then at the end he had 2 boys and 1 girl. Fix it the right way.
So what happened to the first 3?
The first 3, because he did tshuva, Baruch Hashem, they're frum. The oldest daughter is frum. She has a very big family. We live in Muncie today. Big family. The other boy, another boy, the Baruch Hashem, very frum. Very religious, ultra religious. You see it, learning Gemara, everything, Poshas, Poskim, into it. Put up normal lives. And the younger children also. All the children. One by one. Every single one made it. But he said, listen, this is the way to do tshuva. Fix it all the way. Imagine he was older. And I know for a fact that he just played the wedding for his youngest daughter, for his youngest child daughter. He's in his 60s. Imagine you're working a child, down the chuppah when you're 60-something years old. Right? He did it. Fix it the right way. Fix. There is gates of repentance. And you should know a person does teshuvah, Hashem accepts. And you could fix it. The Baal and Zaka, I've seen him bring it down. A lot of people, they say, oh no, this family I don't want to marry into. Why? The children, they're Baalei Tshuva, they just did Choser B'Tshuva, and I don't know what kind. He says, you'll be surprised. Those who did Tshuva, their children are much more better and improved than someone who everything was normal. And just because you're born to a normal family, you see, they get messed up. And everything goes lost completely. There is a thing. I'm not getting involved into that when this is not the topic for today. Yes.
I want to say, a lot of people that did Teshuvah from our communities, they're Bnei Nida.
Sure. And they could be mitakenet. They could fix it. You have to work on yourself. The more you work on yourself, the more you improve. There's Teshuvah for everything. You could fix it. You can fix it. Next. Let's proceed further. Okay? You should know, Bichlal, Chazal say, there's a famous thing they say if a lot of people come over and they have a question. Oh, right? My wife, 4th girl. Right? And I said to him, what's wrong with the girl? What's bad? It's bad to have a girl? It's beautiful. He says, no, I want to have a boy. Rabbi, give me a sgula. Give me a way to figure out how to do it. And I said to him, there's many ways. The Chazal, how to get to a boy. One of the best gulot they have, if a woman keeps, listen to this, the best gula there is for these things, besides the position of beds, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about many things. We will talk about many things. But the most important one, we know that if a woman gives birth to a boy, it's a sign that she kept her mishpacha properly. Not always. If they're not from and you know for sure they had a boy, you know for sure you put an X, right? But if you see somebody very, very frum and they had a boy, and the boy grows up to be a Yireh Shamayim, a Talmid Chacham, a good boy, good Jewish boy, grows out to be a good boy, you know for a fact that everything was legit and everything went fine. Shlomo HaMelech says in Kohelet, listen to this, the Pasuk. And you try to figure out what the Pasuk says, you won't be able to figure it out on your own. The Pasuk says the following, it says like this, it says, Ten chelek l'shiv'ah, give a portion to 7, listen to this, give a portion to 7, v'gam l'shmona, and also for 8. And you ask saying, what means giving a portion to 7, and also to 8? 7, 8, what about 9 and 10? What about 12? What do you mean give a portion to 7 and also to 8? So the Farshim, they explain, they say, Shlomo HaMelech, what he meant in his great wisdom is to say the following, if you keep the 7 days of Nidah properly, then you'll be able to fulfill also the 8th as well, which is the 8th day of Milah, the 8th day of circumcision. It's Gula for Banim. The famous thing they have with Rachel Imenu, right? It's brought down in the Midrash, with the commentaries on the Midrash, they say that one time, when Rachel, she was on her deathbed, right? She was giving birth. Remember that, right? Rachel, she had her last child, Binyamin, was born to her. And when Binyamin was being born to her, we know what happened there is that she was dying. She was dying. She passed away at childbirth. And it says the Miyalede, the one who was, taking the midwife, right? The midwife, she told her, oh, al tir'i, don't fear. Ki gam ze lach ben, this is also for you, a son. Lady is dying. What do you mean, don't be afraid? She's dying. She's going.
Yeah, but she didn't know she was dying.
No, it says but she had a very difficult labor. They saw signs that she was going.
They're professional, they know
She didn't know that she was
But still,
dying.
but the Miyaledet was trying to tell her, you know what, don't fear. It's also a boy. It's also a boy for you. What was going on over there? The Mefashim, they explained the following. They said like this. We know that Chachamim say if a woman dies at childbirth and she gives birth to a girl, it's only because she did not keep laws of Nidah properly.
Whoa.
Because had she kept the laws of Nidah properly, she would have a boy. And that's what Rachel was saying. Rachel said, oi, I'm dying, I'm having a childbirth, I'm dying. Who dies at childbirth? Chazal say, Shlosha averot, for 3 sins, women, they die at childbirth. Mishnayim, b'mem madlikin, Shlosha averot, nashim metot b'shat lidetan. They die at time of childbirth. What is it? And we know 3 mitzvot women are obligated. Adlakat nerot, lighting candles. Chala, right? Separation of dough. When you make a certain amount of dough, a batch of dough. And the last one is what? Is Nidah.
Why she died?
So Chazal say, when this is what Miyaleda, the midwife, had in mind to tell her, Rachel, you're dying. Don't be afraid. People won't talk about you saying that you're a bad woman. And you did not. You made Yaakov Avinu stumble in the sin of Nidah. Why? Ki gam ze lach ben, because this is also a boy. It's also a boy. That's how she was able to comfort her. She died with a peace of mind, knowing, I can go safely. Or you know what? Now I can die. Now I can die with peace. And people they pray for it. Chazal say every Jew, every Chassid prays that he should die in peace. Calmness and peace of mind, that they bury you with peace and everything is good. No fighting involved. And we want everything to go till the last shower full of dirt. Chazal say people should pray for a proper burial. Can you imagine? This is what Rachel Imenu had on her deathbed, what she was worried about. This is Mefashim, Chazal. I'm not saying things, just to. We're not making up these things. This is Chazal, Chachamim. They teach us this. Now let's go a little bit further. Listen to how further it goes. You should know. There's the Zohar HaKadosh. Right? Not that I study on you of it, but I wanted to tell you. All the guys don't believe me ever, right? They always say Rabbi is full of it. Yeah, like one guy comes to me and he says, we know the way you know the Gemarot, and everything, probably you have in the house, you press a certain button, the shelves move aside, and there's an article Shas rotating there, right? Say, choose your chelik, choose whichever one out of the 72 or 73, I don't know how many books are there, but, right? Choose which one you want in order to know how to prepare shiur and whatnot, right? The Zohar is translated and everything is there, right? hooked up all the way. No, not true at all. No Zohar, come to my house, I'll give you the keys, you go through the house thoroughly, you won't find any Zohar in my house. But let's go further. So here, the Zohar HaKadosh, it was quoted, I saw it brought down in a different book, it says like this, it's a pamphlet on Tarat Mishpacha, and it says over there that 3 people, they push away the Shekhinah from this world. They chase Hashem away. Now we don't want to chase Hashem away because Beracha, right? Shekhinah, Shalom is there only when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there. If Hashem is not there, nothing doing. Nothing doing. And 3 of them is the ones who push away. The Zohar says one of them is what? Listen to this. It says first of all, they chase the Shekhinah away. It says second of all, they cause for people. Chavetz Chaim brings this down, by the way. He says they cause people to cry out to Hashem, beg. They entreat Hashem, saying, Hashem, answer me. It says, and Hashem says, nothing doing. I can't hear you. Because of their avelot, other people, a lot of people, they come to a place and say, I don't understand. I pray, I beg, I want to get through, and what? There's nobody, it's like talking to a wall. Nobody, we all talk to a wall, right? But Hashem, after all, you look at people, right? They take a siddur, they turn to a wall, and they like to talk to it sometimes. But you have to know that, it's much further than the wall. It goes further. But sometimes you actually are talking to a wall. Your tefillot are not accepted. Because of the sin of the people that are, not keeping these laws, these following laws. Listen to this. Now one of them is, he says, is someone that sleeps and, he does not, they don't keep Tarat Mishpacha. No purity laws, nothing. Can you imagine, because of laws of Nidah, other people can't get through? It's like me trying to pick up a phone and calling the house 100 times and I can't get through. I'm like, what's going on? There are 4 phones in the house. What, this one is not ringing? I have to go call someone to please go to my house, figure out, see why they're not answering the phone? Hey, go send somebody upstairs to Shabbat and say, why isn't Hashem listening to our prayers? Listen to the next one. The next one is someone who shochev in bat el nechar, Hashem yilachem, people that they sleep around with goyim. And we'll forget about those who go so low that they even get married. Hashem yilachem is a terrible sin. Terrible sin.
It's a big one today.
Terrible. I believe one of the main reasons why we were spit out. Hashem chased us out of Russia because there a lot of people went that far already. You find out, Falon, the following guy, this guy, he's Tatar, right? This guy, Uzbek, Russian, right? Oh, this one got married to an adopted child from a child that was adopted. Is the child Jewish? Did you figure everything out? And the next thing you know is that these children, they have 4 children, and they all get married to Bukharians.
Yep.
They say a famous Bukharian family, and everybody knows. And nobody knows that she's adopted. The mother is adopted. If the mother is not Jewish, there's nothing doing.
Are you allowed to adopt a child?
You're allowed to adopt a child, but you have to go make sure the child goes through Giyur eventually. The child has to, when it gets to age 12, a child has to make up, if it's a girl 12, if it's a boy 13, he has to say, no, I want to keep the Torah, I want to keep the mitzvot.
It's his choice.
And they say no.
Shalom, goodbye.
What if they never ask?
Huh?
They never ask the child.
Never ask the child, Hashem Yilachem, you can't marry him. Go! Unless you know for sure the child is Jewish, it's a different story. And people don't know about this. And how many people do you hear? Why? What's wrong?
Going in the children.
Why? What do you mean? What's wrong?
Jewish school system.
They say, well, listen. They have eyes, they have ears, they have hands, they have feet. I was misled. I come to a guy and I said to him, he tells me, tomorrow I won't be able to come to your house to do anything because it's Yom Kippur. And the 5 days from now is going to be Sukkot. And this day is going to be Simchat Torah. And I turned to him, I said to him, Vanya, tell me, you're Jewish? He says to me, no. I said to him, what do you mean? He says, my daughter, me and my wife, we have to work hard. All the public schools are till 3 o'clock. He says, I needed a school where I could keep my child there till 6. He's from Moldova. And the next thing is I know that his child went and got accepted to gymnasia. Sponsored by Lev Levayev himself. Here's Jewish hard-earned money going into support, right? Training a non-Jew in the school. And Hashem knows tomorrow this girl, right? Because she has so many friends. Come, I'll introduce you to a good friend of mine.
Smith.
Hashem Yidachem. And I'll tell you many more stories like this.
Never heard that before.
I know somebody. I could point
We had one
fingers.
in our class.
I
We had
could
one in
point
our, we had one
fingers.
in our class like this.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure.
He told-
Remember that story with what's it? Malkil Gadaev was saying how there were boys that in Lefrak City they were taking a video, right? How the security over there were beating them up. Remember?
Right.
Beating them up, and the next thing somebody said, "Oh wow, Jewish guys are beating up." Malkil was like, "Nah, their mama is the guy. Mama is not Jewish," and nobody knows about it
Was in class with them.
because they were his classmates, the same yeshiva, Jewish, quote unquote. Scary. I know how one time I was sitting talking to somebody, and the next thing they tell me, I feel so bad for him. He got divorced. He had to get remarried. He got remarried. Now he has one child, a little bit, Basoli Piri in the old age, having a baby. Bukhaski say, right? Where are you going? Yeah, old. But listen, the next thing I know is they say, I feel bad. She has such a good wife. I say, why? What happened? He said, well, he was there, he cheated, and this and that. His wife couldn't forgive him, she left him. So I started to feel bad for him. I said, guy's a nice guy. What's there to feel bad for? His wife was Tatar. She wasn't even Jewish. And you should know, I'll be honest with you, he has sons-in-law, Ashkenaz, Orthodox. Orthodox! I've married a guy! And nobody knows about it. And nobody says anything.
Are we supposed to say?
Sure!
Announce.
Sure! I tell you, I know somebody also. He says, my child, super, ultra-Orthodox. And I turn to him and I say, listen, your wife is a goy. What do you mean my son is super? He said, yeah, he learns in gymnasium. And I said, wow. Yeah? So, way to go. What do you mean? You have to call the school. And you have to say, excuse me, this child is not Jewish. This child is not Jewish. The question is, how many children will stay in school at the end? I don't know. I'm not Hashem want to say, it's Jewish kids, Bukharians. And they're learning in the school, they're Levayev Baruch Hashem, should be always healthy and strong. Hashem should give them a lot of koach, a lot of strength, should always be healthy, wealthy, right? He does a lot of good. But they have to go a little bit further. You don't just take anybody off the street. And everybody's like this, shh, don't say anything. Better not to know. What do you mean better not to know? Goy! You can't do that, asur. And a lot of people, they say, why, what's wrong? What do you mean what's wrong? Everything.
You're going to end up marrying Jews.
Everything is wrong.
How are they supposed to find out?
Let me tell you something. It's not for no reason that you go out there in the world and you find one public cemetery for the non-Jews and you find only Jewish cemetery for Jewish people. We stick to our own kind. And this is how it's been for generations. It's not new. We don't mix. We do not
Chinese people also have
mix.
their own.
Not true.
They do.
What? Mini Manhattan?
Chinese people, they have their own
Sure.
cemetery,
Yeah, they have their own.
their own section.
I've seen a little section, right? But still, it's in the Goyish cemetery, non-Jewish cemetery.
Yeah.
We don't mix. Asur. We have neshamot. We have a neshama. We have something. We are completely different. Completely different. Let's go on. Next. The next one is what? Is chashol miscarriages. Miscarriage is also one of these type of things.
Wait, what's the third person that drives with the Shekhinah? Did we say all three of them?
One who lives with Nida, another one who lives with a non-Jew, and another one is who does miscarriages.
What do you mean it does?
Oh, like
Yes,
abortion.
Abortion.
Not miscarriage. Abortion.
Miscarries on purpose. Causes the child to die.
We miscarriage by accident, no?
Huh?
No, he
When
means
they miscarry, but still, but abortion.
Abortions.
Cause themselves to do it. Besides the fact that they show the video how a child fights,
Yeah.
right, and the whatnot, how this thing that comes inside there to cut.
No choice.
Huh?
No choice.
There's no cheating, is no choice.
Yes, sir.
Everything there is a choice. The only one who could say there's no choice is only when it goes and gets approved by a rabbi.
So is the guy that uses like protection that we're not allowed, does that fall in the same category?
No.
That's Levat.
Again, that's called Ashchatat Zera Levatala.
But that doesn't go in there.
It's a different thing completely.
It's not good either.
No, but it's good. I'm not saying it's good.
It's different. But it's still the terrible Avilah.
I don't know if it falls in the same category.
Shem Yilachem. And you should know the Zohar goes on saying that all the troubles,
The Petri dish thing.
all the troubles in the world come because of these Avilot. Famine, starvation, evil, terrible things, destructions come to the world. It comes because of these things. This is what does it. And we have a lot of, but Hashem gave us the system how to know how to prevent ourselves from terrible things. It's only there for our own good. Let's go on. So last time we spoke about 3 important things that we have to have in order to come to a point of a purification process. Right? We have something to go to, right? To become mutarim, right? This is a purpose for that. We have to do our utmost. The most important thing that we have to know is that we should always be in a state that we are permitted to one another. And the way to do it is not to stumble with Avelot. Number 1 is to have a rabbi. A rabbi, a leader, a spiritual leader. You go to a physical doctor, when you go to a gynecologist and he's a man. It's allowed? Sure. Right? And there the doctor, he digs in. Right? He goes and he looks in there and he figures everything out and he says, okay, Mazel Tov, you're pregnant. Huh? It's okay. Physical doctor, sure. Minhag ha'olam, it's fine. Halachically, is nothing wrong. A good doctor, a specialist, a professor, he knows what he's doing. Perfect. It's good.
If he's religious, it's even better.
But listen to this.
If he's not.
But
Religious doctors.
listen to this. I've seen plenty of gynecologists, but let's go further. Listen.
Not
Yeah, but listen, let's go further. Any doctor who's an internist, listen to this. Any internist, he knows inside out everything, and he's done everything, and he did this, and he did that, and everything that needs to be done, he does. That's why he's an internist. He's a general doctor working in the ER. In ER, there's everything from gynecological exams to childbirth and everything, right? And everything is good. But let's not sidetrack.
Yeah.
Just like the physical doctors is good, is permitted. Spiritual doctors is not any different. I give you a Gemara, Chazal. Ready? Fasten your seatbelts. I give you an example. A spiritual doctor, a spiritual leader, that his Chazal say that he was taking pride, and he said, Hashem Yitbarach, you have to guard my soul. You have to watch me. In this zechut, you have to watch me. You know who it was? I'll tell you. The Gemara says, David HaMelech, he said to David, this was a perek in Tehillim, to David, listen to what he said. Shameran nafshi Hashem, guard my soul. Ki chasidani, because I'm pious. I'm ultra orthodox. And the Gemara says, what did David HaMelech mean to say that he was a Chassid? Second opinion in the Gemara, it says over there that what David HaMelech he said the following, listen to this. Second.
So Chassid means Orthodox?
Chassid, yeah, super from. Listen to this. Lifnai v'lifnim mishurat adin. Going beyond the law. Listen to this. Kach amar David lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So did David HaMelech say before Hashem. Ribono shel olam, master of the world. Lo chassid ani, am I not orthodox? Am I not perfect for you? I'm super good. Shekol Malchei Mizrach, listen to all the kings of the west and the east. That's how we know that the world is to the west and to east, huh? Nobody knows about it, not north to south. Because north and south, only polar bears are in charge over there, okay? But listen to this. Shekol Malchei Mizrach Ubarav, all the kings of the world, right? To the east and west. Yoshvim Agudot Bichvodam, they sit there with all their honor, right? Royal dude sitting there, right, in his right in his throne, right, with a crown on his head, and he thinks he became a king, right? Puppet. But listen to this. He says, "And I, Vani, as far as I go, Yadai meluchlachot bedam b'shapil b'shilya." Says, my hands are dirty with blood of nida with blood of miscarriage, miscarried towards a placentas and miscarried child, to figure out what will make this, what will render this woman nida. Is she permitted to her husband or not? In order to come to a point of to purify a wife to her husband. Can you imagine? David HaMelech, Gedol Ador, a man who did not sleep at all, slept maybe a few minutes a day. Right? He says he would have women standing on line by his palace just to come what? Chacham, please, David HaMelech, Adonai HaMelech, you are halacha k'motcha. Gemara in Eruvin says the halacha was like David HaMelech in everything. And he said, here, can you please look at this stain? Is it kosher? Can you please, here, I miscarried a child. Can you please decide if there is a form of a child over here or not? Am I allowed to go back to the husband? Can you look at this blood to figure out if this blood will make me nida, something we don't do today, and this blood is dam toar or not? Is it pure blood or not pure blood? And David HaMelech was a pro. And had a line of women standing on line. She said, please tell me what's the story, what's the halacha? Spiritual leaders, plenty, Baruch Hashem, today. They exist. And it's very much needed. And we spoke in the previous shul. We said that what? It's very important to have a rav, to have a rabbi. You don't have to be machmir. It's foolish thing to do. Oh, this kind of questionable color? Nah, don't bother. I'm embarrassed. Don't have to go and say, Rabbi, hello, I'm so-and-so. I have a stain. Can you please look at... You don't have to do that. You don't have to be embarrassed. Send it in mail. Drop it over the mailbox. Can't do it yourself? Ask a friend to do it. Just write on it. All you have to do is take an envelope, write down what this is, right? Which day you're holding, what it is, what, when, where, telephone number. You don't have to introduce yourself. He's not going to ask you for your social security, right? He's not going to need your, right, your 4 digits, right, secret 4-digit numbers that you have. It's not needed. This is not Gestapo, and it's not FBI, and not CIA either. It's there for a reason. All he'll do, Rabbi will pick up the phone, say, hello, yes, I looked at the envelope. It's kosher. Bye. Put down the phone. Or maybe he'll ask a question. Can you please give me in detail, what is this exactly? And you have to answer. You don't have to introduce yourself. He won't know. He won't know. You don't have to tell him anything. Just drop it over the mail. Rabbi Tzadka is available.
In his mailbox.
In his mailbox, not in the shul.
Not
Please,
in the post
no one's
office.
gonna, not in the post office, right? Drop it off.
You
don't have to put stamps, by the way. No, it's free of charge. No stamps needed. Okay, let's go further. But anyhow, let's go on. We spoke also about the importance of having a Jewish calendar. We will talk soon about laws of calendar, of how to calculate everything the right way. All the or not, and there's
Why do we have to know?
Okay, let me ask you, because this is a question I'm supposed to ask to all of you, right? A lot of guys last week, they were sitting here at the shul, and they said, we came to the wrong shul. This shul is for women. Rabbi, stop right now. Let me go home. I'll bring my wife here and let her hear all this. But let me tell you something. Man obligated to know these laws more than anyone.
Obligated?
Obligated to know every single law in Ilchot Nida inside out.
But we forget.
She won't listen.
Huh?
If she...
You send her to our teacher who will teach her. But you yourself also have to know and be on guard. You know why?
You just make sure everything's going
You know why? Because, first of all, I'll give you one important rule. You should know that. As it is, a wife, she feels like she's being left alone. She's being ignored. No one's paying attention to her. It bothers her to the soul. And here, her husband calls up and says, please remember, today is this and this day. Please do this kind of preparation.
Do the check.
And this is this and this kind of day. This is what you're supposed to do. And the wife, you know what she will feel? She'll say, my husband's waiting for me. I'm important to him. You should know that every wife, every moment of the day wants to know, am I important in his eyes or not? Esther, right? When she was close to Achashverosh, right? If it's good for the king, right? Please write these kind of letters to save the Jews. She didn't stop there. She says, if it's good for the king, and I'm also good in his eyes. Am I good in your eyes? You still like me? That's how it is. That is how it is. Women, attention. And this is the way to do it. It's a time of separation, and the wife wants to know, does he care or not? Does he care or not? We will learn the importance of everything, but it's important to have this. The calendar with all the Jewish dates on it is important. We're going to learn that B'ezrat Hashem soon. And then also we said very important to know is when the Shkiyah, when the sundown is going to be. So last week we spoke about there's 5 steps to the purification process. 5 steps. Step number 1. Step number 1. Okay? Step number 1. Step number 1 is the following. That you have to know that there is something called 5 and 7. 5 and 7. Minimum 5 dirty days. And then there is exactly 7 pure days. Clean days. In order to get the process over and to know that I can come back to my husband. My husband can come back to me. We can come back to each other. Minimum 5 dirty days. And we explained the way to count those 5 dirty days. I will do it with you all over again because it's important to know that a lot of people don't know this. You should know that for the 5 days, right? It says there's a reason for it. I don't want to go into details why it's 5. Some count 4, but we count 5. If you have a problem with 5, because apparently, the doctor comes for some whatever reason he decides, your ovulation and whatnot. First of all, the machloket in the Gemara, when the ovulation is. First of all, the Gemara says at one point, it says the ovulation is in the beginning, after the 7 clean days. And some say, no, the ovulation is at the end, right before the period comes. So go figure. Why in the world does a doctor decide when the ovulation is? The professor? Because he has a theory and he decided this one it is? It's not true. The Bono Shel Olam decides when the ovulation is going to be. And he decides everything has its right time. And all these people who decide to say, they come, they say, they call. I can't keep 5 and 7. Why? What's wrong? I have to be 5 and 5. Why? My doctor said my ovulation is 2 days early, and if not, I will never get pregnant. Where are you coming from? What did you smoke? It's a big problem. How many people that I know where a wife, she lied to her husband. She went to mikveh early, and they had first of all, karet, Hashem Yilachem, and karet b'shogeg, also big avera. Besides karet, also b'nei nida, destruction on the family. What do you need averot for? What's the averot for? You have a problem? You have a problem with counting days? No problem. Come to the rabbi. The rabbi has a trick. Baruch Hashem, there's a book on Hilchot Nida, twice thicker than this. Just Gemara Masechet Nida, and there's Shulchan Aruch, a whole section with thousands of books written on Tarat Mishpacha. And believe me, rabbi has every way out for you. And you will get pregnant.
What's wrong with waiting longer?
No, what's wrong with waiting longer? You must wait 5 and 7. It can be less.
But it can be more.
It can be more, sure. It depends on what people do.
It's not good.
5 and 7. But we're going to get into details. We will get into it. But listen. First of all, process of purification. Step number 1. Minimum 5 days. The way to count 5 days is as follows. It doesn't have to be 5 times 24. 24 hours. Doesn't have to be 5 days, full 5 days, no. Which means, let's say the following scenario. A woman, right? She goes to the bathroom. And she realizes she got her menstrual. Period came. Or let's say she did her internal examination. And it came out to be, there was a day that she was supposed to do the internal exam. And she saw that there's a red stain on the material that she did the exam with, her internal exam with. And she says, okay, I'm a nida. The rabbi says for sure dam from the source, it's from the womb, she is nida. From the uterus, she's considered nida. Okay? Listen to this. When she becomes a nida, and it happens to be, it was a minute before sundown. As long as there's time before sundown, that 1 minute, that half a minute, those 10 seconds before sundown is day 1.
What happened in the Shmashmot?
Ben Hashmashot, next day. If it's in twilight, if it's already after sundown, you see on the calendar it says the sundown is at 5:55, 43 seconds. Yeah? You know for sure what? That this is it, okay? This is it. You know for sure that it's already for next day. So you have to wait 5 days. You can't, let's do an example. Sunday afternoon, before sundown, a half a minute before sundown, she got her menstrual period. She realized, she found out she's nida.
She sees or she found out? She feels.
She sees it.
She has to see it, not feel
She
it.
saw it. Feel it doesn't mean anything until she sees it.
So she could wait if she won't.
Why would
check
she
that.
want to wait?
Why would she want to wait? Save herself time.
No,
Save herself a
What
day.
she does, well, listen to this. Before
Save a
sundown,
day.
she found out she's nida. Sunday is day 1. Monday is day 2. Tuesday is day 3. Wednesday day 4. Thursday is the first time she could check herself to see that her menstrual flow is closed. Done. It's the end of her 30 days. And she could do an internal exam to decide that she's not that her impurity or the 30 days of the impurity are over.
So the 5th day
And now-
is two.
It's going to be Thursday.
There's 2 bediga cloths?
No! Thursday. Well, I will say exactly what has to be done. Thursday is the first time. Ask you a question. Tuesday, Abraham. Tuesday, she 2 minutes before Shkia, before sundown, she realized she's nida. Tuesday is day 1. Wednesday is day 2. Thursday is day 3. Friday is day 4. Shabbat is day 5. Okay? So remember this. But if it happened after sundown, you know you pushed off to the next day. Tuesday night, she saw that she has the menstrual. Wednesday is going to be day 1, right? And it's going to be that on Sunday will be the first time in the evening, before the sundown, she could start doing her internal exam in order to realize if the 30 days are over. So the 5th day is the last day of the 30 days. Now, how do we decide and determine that this is the last day of her 30 days?
At the minimum.
Now, again,
At the
minimum
minimum.
5. Sometimes 5 days not enough. And go 6 days.
She still has her.
9 days. 10 days. Depends on how stressful her work is. A lot of pressure, a lot of stress, not sleeping on time, not eating well, all has an effect on this.
The blood's still coming.
The blood's still coming, right? Or especially after childbearing, right? She gave birth to a child. B'shat b'racha, mazal tov v'siman tov, right? Yeah, beautiful, nice. Suddenly you see the wife is happy. Oh, the baby, kuchi ku, right? Nice and beautiful. And the husband is sitting there looking, saying, okay, day 45, day 46, and day 49, right? Haram, when is it going to finish, right? This is what you have to wait. There's no minimum 5. You have to wait till the blood flow is finished.
And you have to wait after that?
Huh?
When the blood is finished?
No, once the blood flow is finished, she does her internal exam.
1.
She counts 7 clean days and a wedding.
So she has to count that cement. Yes, she has to count 7 queens.
Okay? Let me give you another example. Listen to this. Listen. I want to stop saying, listen. We're talking about when the flow is continuing. It's flowing. There's blood flow. It's coming and coming. You say, can you stop bleeding, please? Right? But listen to this. Question for all of you. And which means, can you please take care of yourself? A little bit more health, please. Take care of yourself. A little bit more avocado, right? A little bit more ginger. Slows down the blood, right? Vitamin C. Sometimes when the blood flow is too much, what you do is you go ahead and you something called folic acid, which is could be taken 800 IU, right? IU, very important to do. Slows the folic acid. So they sell them
It's good for
pharmacies.
pregnancy, to get pregnant.
Very good for pregnancy. It's good. It's one of the most healthiest ones.
To get
Folic
pregnant.
acid is very good,
It's good to
and it's good. It's good for blood control, blood flow. No, it's a
vitamin.
vitamin.
Folic acid?
Sure. Folic acid. It's called. Get into it a little bit healthy. You figure out everything. Very, very healthy.
Kosher.
It's kosher brand, sure, Zolgar. Vitamins, they sell them. Okay. Next time you see the representative of Zolgar, tell him to fork over some cash for our advertisements for him. But let's go further.
Sponsor shoe.
Listen, sponsor the shoe. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Okay. Let's say she had her blood flow only for 2 days. I'll give you better. Let's say she did her internal exam and she found 1 dot, and the rabbi said she's tme'ah. Or let's say, right, on her undergarment, or on her bed sheet, right? We're talking about from waist down. Like we said last year, please don't look for the bloodstain that's on top of the pillow, right? There's no way that the pillow and the bottom, right, have anything in common, right? This doesn't happen unless they slept the other way around. Like one time they say it was a famous joke. They said one time, Paro, he was very little, right? Chazal say he was very short. One night he woke up, he realized that his head and his feet were touching both edges of the bed. He thought he grew overnight. He said a miracle. He yelled, hooray! Until it came to a point of realizing that he slept the wrong way. Instead of sleeping the wrong way, he slept to the width of the bed, and he thought he grew overnight. Let me tell you another one better. They said Nebuchadnezzar was also short. One time he went to the pharmacy. The guy at the pharmacy was giving him a pill. He says to him, should I wrap it up for you? He says, no, don't bother. I'll be able to push it to the house. It rolls better this way. The people were, this is what short people had a lot of time. One time there was a story. They said one time, they say a bank was advertising, had a song. It says over there, come grow with us. So Nebuchadnezzar was first online. Wanted to grow. Pharaoh was also behind him. But anyhow, let's go further. I just, a little sense of humor. But listen to this, right? One little speck of blood and she became Nida. Let's say she found a stain, right, in her bed. And it was from waist down on her pajamas, on her undergarment, right? Or it was somewhere on the bed sheet, right? And the rabbi, right, they took the whole bed sheet to the rabbi, and the rabbi looked at it, he says, where was this? They say it was in this part, never ever, and don't throw away the sheet, it costs money, right? So they give it to cleaners, everything comes off. So, by the way, for bed stains, hairspray is the best. Get hairspray, spray very well, ink, it's removable, it works, believe it or not. Listen to what happens.
Oh, that's the hairspray.
Now, listen to this. So it comes to a point, right, they had this blood stain, and the rabbi said, she is Nida. She must count minimum 5 dirty days no matter what. No matter what, 5 dirty days must be counted. Here it is. She saw one blood stain.
During the 5 days?
In the beginning of her 5 days. Right at the beginning of her 5 days. She did her internal exam. Or she had a stain. And you know that she became Tame'ah. She knows she's Nida. She must wait no matter what 5 dirty days. And we explain how to count them. Okay? After she finishes her 5 dirty days, smart women, what they do is they have a calendar. Right? And the day that she gets a period, she has to write on the calendar. Before Shkia, and draw a red rose. So she knows that, it came at this time. And she knows to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here is the first time I could start becoming pure. Clear? Clear? Understood? Again, you have a calendar. You mark on the calendar the time that she became Nida. And she, in order for her to know that she became Nida, she takes an art lesson, and she draws a beautiful red rose. To remind her, Shalom Aleichem, the guests have arrived. Okay? Yes, the Red Army is as they say, approaching near. Okay? Now, listen to this. Now, this is minimum 5 days to count. At the end of the 5th day, if the blood flow is finished, we explain that she has to, it's better that she washes herself at the bottom, a bath, a shower, wash yourself. If you don't have that, nothing needs to be done. She has to take a material, it has to be done with material cloth. No tissues, no paper, no toilet paper. Nothing. Okay? It has to be 100% washed cotton.
White.
White, washed off. It doesn't have to be white, because that shiny color is no good. They say the best thing is, let's say if you don't have the actual cloth, it has to be more like a dull color. Not such a bright, shiny color, because shiny color enhances the color of the stain, and you could get yourself red. Big problem. So they purposely sell those packets of Badei Zach, right? That they know that the special materials, especially come to a certain size, has to be cut to a certain size, which is very comfortable to use, wrapped around the finger, right? They do an internal exam. And the Chafetz Chaim, where is the Chafetz Chaim? I brought the book purposely here. The Chafetz Chaim, he brings down over here, he explains how the Hefsek Ta'ala is to be done. The Chafetz Chaim says the following. Wash well, okay? Listen to this.
5th day.
Wash well on the end of the 5th day, before sundown. End of the 5th day, which is minimum 5 days. It could be 6 days, it could be 7 days, as long as the blood flow is there. Once the blood flow is over, what she does, Chafetz Chaim, I'll read to you the words. She should wash herself very well. She should prepare some white garment. Okay, white garment. Undergarment has to be white and clean. Then she should spread clean bed sheets on her bed. White preferable. Then she should take a material. It says Chatichat bad nikiya levana. White from pishtan, either from flax or from cotton. Mitzemer gefen. Now listen, she says it's not allowed to be new. It has to be used. That's why all those materials are washed. All those materials are washed. Okay, they're washed and they're sterilized. They're clean. Sterile. A lot of people say, infections. Nonsense. Clean. And you should know, it's proven, scientifically proven, doctors prove it. They say that clean cotton is actually very healthy to insert there and to rotate and to clean because it only takes away the bacteria. It's proven. A true story. A professor, a non-Jewish professor said this. He said and the most interesting thing is specifically cotton. No other material. Cotton's the health. Sterile cotton, very healthy. If you look at all the gauze pads, right, that they use in the hospital, pure cotton. Sterile cotton is used in every single hospital in the world. For a reason, because this is the most cleanest material that cleans out infections. Listen to this. He says it has to be a little bit old. A lot of people, if they don't have actual, don't have the material cloth, very simple. Go to your husband's closet. He has white t-shirts that are, Baruch Hashem, very well used, right? And before they actually get holes everywhere, right? Cut a certain size, what you need to do, and do the internal exam.
Cut it, bro?
Yeah, cut it.
Iron it?
I have no more.
I don't have to iron it. Listen to this. It's clean. After it's washed, it's clean, it's good to go. He says like this, pay attention. Listen to how the Hefsek Tahara is done. Please pay attention. You have the cloth, right? The woman must examine the cloth from both sides. Make sure that it's clean. White. There's no dirt at all. Clean. No, nothing. No dirt whatsoever. Clean. Washed, white cloth. Very, very clean. Right? She checks it from both sides. And then she does the internal exam. But listen to this. How it's supposed to be. She's supposed to first of all wrap it around her finger. I'll give you an example how to. This is paper. Do not use paper. It has to be cotton. You put it to the index finger like this in the middle, okay? And you wrap it around the finger like this, okay? So when they insert inside, they have to insert as much as they can go, and they do a rotation to check into every single spot. Has to rotate both very well, yes? Listen to this. He says like this, it says till the place that she's able to go, the furthest possible. Some ladies have a very difficult time. They have to ask a rabbi, maybe they'll permit her to go only 2, right? 2 parts of the finger, not 3. But the best thing is to go it's possible to do the whole thing. Now, it says like this, she has to check tivdok ketev b'chol tzdadim b'cholim b'zdakim. Chafetz Chaim says she must check very well thoroughly in all the sides, in all the holes and crevices and creases. Now, it's very difficult for her to do the internal exam all the way. Chafetz Chaim says as much as possible that her finger is able to reach. And I do remember they say up to 2 portions. 1, 2.
That's the Shulchan Aruch report.
It's supposed to be 3.
Shulchan Aruch.
Yes, the furthest possible. Now listen to this. Now it says, please listen to the Chafetz Chaim. Ve'haisha she'ena osa ken, a woman that does not do so. Listen to this. She only does a little bit, puts in very little. Or let's say she just takes it like she goes to the bathroom, right? Like we wipe ourselves, and says, clean. Yeah? Nothing doing. Chafetz Chaim says she doesn't do so. It says, En b'dikat hefsek tahara klum. He says what she did is nothing. Lo to'ila tvilata, her mikveh that she went to won't do a thing for her. Like the Rambam says, pour on her all the water of the world. All the water of the world, nothing doing. She's becheskat nida, chiyuv karet, rachmana litzlan. This is how the Chafetz Chaim finishes.
What if I didn't cut my shirt one time?
Huh?
I didn't cut my 100% cotton shirt.
Meaning?
I didn't cut it. She used it.
So it's a requirement then.
It's better to cut because
cut it.
if she went the furthest, she knows she went as much, this much.
If you don't cut, you can't put it on. You can't go in. Like
it's very difficult because it's very big.
When you cut it,
It's cut because what happens is it's like this. You're able to wrap like this once, very easy. It goes in. When it's very big, too much, I mean,
It's gonna hang over and it's gonna
just
stop
not
like
gonna
this,
go.
it's not gonna let it go
It won't
inside.
allow you to do it. Okay, so remember this. This is the right way to do so. So after Hefsek Tara, after this process is done, something called moch. Moch is done without any rotation.
Which day is this
You
done?
just put on the end of the 5th day, before sundown.
So okay, so
The right time we explained to do it is a half hour before Shkia to 2 hours before Shkia.
the Chesed Tahara.
Yes.
And then she does a moch.
And then she does a
It's
moch
not
afterwards.
Chumrah, the moch.
Moch is not a chumrah, it's a minhag, which is accepted by all of Klal Israel, and it's important to do.
It's halacha.
Yes. If a woman has a very difficult time to do with the moch, she should consult with a rabbi who knows the halacha.
You just said you leave it in there.
Now, I
So how
really
would you
mean
do
it that you should know that you have to consult. Let me tell you something. The biggest problem today we have is
Many
you should
women
know.
do that. Many women don't do the moch.
Women are not allowed to ask questions from women,
Yeah.
especially their friend, and especially their mother, and a grandmother too. You have to call someone that knows the law, and someone that knows the law will tell you, I don't know what to tell you. I do remember that it's something to ask, and it's very serious. Here's the rabbi's phone number. Call. If you can't call, I'll call for
How
you.
long does the moch have to be inside?
The moch has to be inside. We will talk about that soon.
Um,
Again, the process of Hefsek Tahara, the internal exam, at the end of the 5th day, and the moch is a must.
So she checks every day.
Slow down. We're talking about end of the 5th day right now. We're gonna get to the 7 days right now.
Oh.
We have where to go to. Listen to this. Don't worry, I'm gonna wrap it up because we have to go. I know it's very late. Listen to this. You have another thing is very important. You should know. You have to be very precise in these laws. If your Hefsek Tahara did not work out, you have a next day. You have tomorrow to do it again. Let's say she did her. Let's say she did it 3 times. After 3 times, we say give up. Give up. It's not clean. She did her internal exam, comes out red. She did her internal exam, comes out red, which means not ready. So you have the day 6.
Everything before sunset.
Everything before sunset. You have to know for sure that the blood flow is complete and sealed. There's no more blood coming. Must do this, must. If it's not ready, it's not ready. Listen to this. You should know. If the Hefsek is not done properly, there's nothing doing. Nothing doing. Nothing doing. The next thing you should know is the following. After you know that your 7 days, minimum 5 dirty days, minimum 5. Right? We said explain that now. If she did her Hefsek 3 times and she didn't make it, it's not coming out 3 times, didn't work, let go. You could only hurt yourself like this. Because if you do more, you get in there and you dig and dig and dig, right? You could build 10 houses like this. The excavation. It's very dangerous. You could only make yourself a wound. You could make yourself a boo-boo. Infection, but not infection. You're gonna scrape. It's very delicate. It's not healthy. Don't do it. After 3 times, give up.
So what do? You wait.
You wait till the next
The best
day.
thing for her to do is to take a bath.
The best thing
beforehand.
is take a bath before. Bath.
Clean it all
You
out.
know, you clean it very well. Wait till lubricates 5-10 minutes after she dries herself. Wait so the oils come back because there's no more. There's healthy oils that are in the body. You wait for those 5 to 10 minutes. Then she does her internal exam. We showed on video last time how to do it. I'm not going to repeat it again. Look on the video last time. We will figure out. You'll see how it is. She does her internal exam. If she did this 3 times and on the 3rd time it's still bad, don't continue.
3 times in one day.
3 times in the same day, sure. That's what I'm talking about. The same evening. Up to 3 times, she should keep trying.
She used like a.
Because she has time. If she did it once and it's half hour before sundown, she did it once, it didn't work out, don't give up. Wash, do it again. You have another 10 minutes. You did it again, didn't work out, another 10 minutes, do it again. Up to 3 times. You see, after 3 times it didn't work, 3 times didn't work, let go. Tomorrow. You know, you're not ready to go. It's still flowing. You can't help it. Now, listen to this. If the moch and the Hefsek was complete, successful, done the right way, she did her internal exams, she left it to dry, and the next day, to the lights of the sun, she's able to see that they're clean color, Clean color for sure. No questionable colors. Questionable colors, go to the rabbi. Dirty colors, you don't have to bother going at all. Questionable colors, you have to go to the rabbi and ask because he could tell you it's fine. The color is good. Blue, green, no redness at all in it. Right colors of brown, shades of brown. When there's no red at all, rabbi could tell you it's fine. You are discharging, but it's a healthy discharge, nothing wrong. Understand? No reason to be mahmir. Rabbi has to decide for you. Now, listen to this. If you see a proper color, you wait till the next day when it dries completely. You look. Certain colors are good. We explained already before which colors and what. That we spoke about last time. Today I want to get into something called the Shiva Neki, the 7 clean days. The 7 clean days are very important. Torah says, V'safra la shivat yamim. She must count for herself 7 clean days. 7 clean days. Now those days, I called it, they sell vitamin C, right? They sell vitamin C, ester C, emergency, right? There's many C's. I also know that there's 3 C's when it comes to this concept of Tfilat Nida. 3 C's. They're healthy vitamins. Number 1 is the regular vitamin C. First of all, you have to know is that it has to be for sure clean. 7 clean days. And the way to know if they're clean or not is only through an internal exam that's done twice a day. Every day, twice a day. Every day, twice a day.
The reminder?
Yes. After the right time to do it is in the morning after sunrise, end of the day before sunset. If you skip a day, or you avoid trouble.
Twice a day?
Twice a day.
15 altogether.
But most of them.
There has to be a total of 14 checkings.
With the more.
40. With the moch, it's going to be, and hefsek is going to be 16.
Because in this case,
Hefsek is
Hefsek ta'ala is the internal at the end of the 5th day. Then there's a moch that you leave inside there for X amount of time, which is 40 minutes at least. 40 minutes at least, and it's very easy. It's not difficult.
you don't do nothing.
You don't do anything. It's for ladies. Don't worry. 40 minutes.
When's this that you leave?
Oh, listen to this. At the end of the dirty day, when she did her internal exam, at sunset, she has to take one more type of material and just put it in, no rotating, nothing, and leave it there at least 40 minutes. I will tell you something. I heard a lot of controversy. Some people hold from 40. Listen to this. Hold from 40 to 72 minutes, and it's nothing painful at all. You have to ask a rabbi. I heard this thing they have in Queens, this issue, which I totally disagree on it. And they bring me Shelot to Chivot and Poskim, and I asked my rabbi about it. All my rabbis who have Yirat Shamayim, I asked them, not Poskim. Those people who learn and they know how to learn. And they say, there's a sickness out there that they say, no, Hefsek Ta'ara, Moch, 9 minutes only is good enough. And I said to him, where are you coming from? And they bring me the Shelot to Chivot of Igrot Moshe and whatnot. And I am not afraid. Let it be recorded and let them hear it and let them see it, because it's not the first time I'm arguing with them. I asked my rabbi. My rabbi said, what? Who? Queens? I mean, what do they know? Okay, that was it. Okay, that was the end of the conversation. What do they know? Okay? Very important. It says that the Berash Mashot is at least 40 to 72 minutes. So whichever one it is, you keep the halacha. No less than 40 minutes.
Rabbi Tzadka also says 40?
Sure, Rabbi Tzadka. Ask him. He'll tell you 45 minutes to 72 minutes. We asked him many times. Not once. Every time we have a question, you should know one thing about my wife, Baruch Hashem. People call her a question, ask her. My wife knows all the halachot inside out. She gives the ladies class. She teaches. This is her profession. She's very well skilled. She knows these concepts inside out. Anybody who comes to her shiurim, they're going to listen to the shiur. From her first 10 shiurim to her last 10 shiurim, it's word for word. Word by word, exact. Precise. Nothing changed. Now, they ask her, my wife says, I have to call a rabbi. I don't make the decision. You never ask a woman to decide for you the halacha. The ladies in the mikveh that to supervise, right, making sure women go to mikveh the right way, they have no right to tell you what the halacha is. You pick up the phone and you call the rabbi. You have Rabbi Steinberg to ask, Rabbi Obam to ask, Rabbi Tzadka to ask, Rabbi Chaimov to ask. You have plenty of rabbis you can go to ask. Friedman you can ask, as many people you can ask. And they will tell you what the halacha is. You never ask a woman. A woman's mind is like a ship in the middle of the Pacific. Right? When they're sailing left and right and the wind blows, whichever way you go, you'll go there. You blow from the other side, you'll go over here. This is a rule. Never ask a woman. Now, Always a rabbi. My wife asked many times, Rabbi Tzadka, a woman is calling, 45, 72 or less, or you don't have to do it at all. Rabbi says 45, 72. She has a difficult time, tell her to call me. Put down the phone. Because every woman, they should know, a big problem. Women, they share halachot. Oh, my rabbi told me I don't have to do that. Gee, it's so easy, I also don't have to. Excuse me. When the rabbi told her not to do it, she doesn't have to do it, it was only for today. For tomorrow, she has to call again and ask again.
Like everybody's saying 11 days, only 11 days. Yeah.
You always have to ask. A lot of people, they make a halakha for generations to come. Well, my rabbi told me I never have to. What are you talking about?
First night.
You called, rabbi told you, okay, it was only for today. Call tomorrow again.
Oh, question.
You're playing with fire.
So,
Yes.
we're playing with fire?
Yes. Can I give you matches?
No, for the.
Should I show you how?
For the moch also?
More, you have to ask halakha. I'll tell you like this.
No, I think
There is a
the
situation.
person doesn't
More
do
is
The mikvah's waters would not work?
if you did not do moch, you ask a rabbi. And what? Listen to the question he asked.
No, we talked about the chair.
If they after hefsek tahara, the moch, the second right, that she just puts it inside.
yeah.
If she didn't do it at all,
She didn't do it at all.
she didn't do it at all.
Which one?
Can she the moch?
Okay.
Can she go to the mikveh?
Yes.
I'm not entitled to answer you. Pick up the phone and call the rabbi. That's it. And most probably what he will tell you
And
that
that's
it's
what the woman-
most probably what he will tell you. He'll ask you, when is this? In the middle of 7 clean days or not? Because it makes a difference. Because in the middle of 7 clean days, it's a problem. You cannot go to mikveh.
What's the problem?
If she didn't do a moch. Let's say she did have sek tahara. And in the middle of the 7 days, she doesn't have 7 clean days. Suddenly on the 3rd or 4th or 5th or 7th day, she had a stain. Blood stain that makes her nida, renders her nida. She has to do a hefsek at the end of the day. Don't have to wait 5 days anymore. One time you wait 5 days. She does her internal exam, she must do moch. If she doesn't do moch, she can't go to
In
mikveh.
this
There,
case,
in
yeah.
that case,
Must!
Well, that I
Oh yeah,
understand.
so therefore listen, you pick up the phone and you ask a rabbi. And what rabbi will tell you, I told you what the rabbi will say. But the rabbi has to be the one on top of the situation. Not you, not me, not her friend, and not her mother.
Not a cousin.
How about the grandma?
So the moch only done once?
Great grandmother.
No monkey business.
With the bulletproof stockings.
That's what. Listen, slow down. Here. First of all, you have to have 3, it has to be clean. C for clean. Clean, nothing. 7 days in a row, clean. The next thing you have to have is another C, which is the Esther C vitamin, right? It has to be consecutive. It has to be 7 days in a row, non-stop. That all 7 days were clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She did her exams twice a day. Everything came out legit clean. She's good. Consecutive, 7. And also another important rule is another C, which is the emergency, is that it must be 7 complete consecutive 7 days. Complete. Has to be said. A lot of people say, my ovulation is in 5 days. And I have to go to mikveh 2 days early. Right? And her mother-in-law says, in Gawosh chair, right? What do you have to listen to the rabbi? What do you have to listen to him?
Hello, Rabbi.
Yeah? You ask a Rav, the rabbi will tell you you're not allowed to do it. 7 clean, consecutive, complete days in order to go to the mikveh. And you must do your exams. Those exams are very important. The exams are very important to do. I want to stop here. Next week we will continue Bezrat Hashem on this concept. I have still another half a shiur to go, which is another 2 hours Bezrat Hashem. So we have a long time to go. Ad kan, Rabbi Hanania.